going to go over a few different things this episode because I've gotten a little bit ahead of myself. I forgot to mention the window bars in the last show. These are required by the rules for driver safety. I used 2 pieces of 1-inch pipe and welded them in place. They're spaced a good distance apart from each other to prevent large debris from coming in here, but at the same time I keep them closer together so they're not blocking my vision. Alright, so I also got the impact cage in. It is a little overkill for a compact, but it's what I had on hand and I didn't want to go purchase new stuff. Once this car is dead, I'll cut it all out. I'll reuse it a few more times in different cars. What I have here is 1/4-inch 2x6 channel that I used for the side braces. For the front crossbar, I used a 3-inch pipe, and for the rear cross brace, I used a 4x4 post. I'm going to run 4 kickers from all 4 corners of the impact cage, from the bottom of the cage to the floorboard, without welding it to the frame. This is just to help support the weight of all of this steel, and to help keep it together and all in place upon impact. Now you might want to check your rules before you do all that. Okay, so next I'm going to cut out a portion of the rear fender well for clearance. Then I'm going to smash in the rest of it with a sledgehammer. That will help prevent all that material from getting smashed into my tires out in the arena. Then I'm going to cut away a portion of the front fender for the same reason. Before I start cutting on the front, I needed to remove the plastic inner fender wells. Now you got to do this regardless if you're cutting or not. You have to remove those because the rules say remove all plastics. Okay, so this is what it looks like inside the trunk, and this is the area that I'm going to cut out right behind the tire. I'm going to remove all of this material. Removing all of this right here. Cut that out, and then I'm going to roll this in. Last but not least for this episode, I added the hood bolts. I made 4 2-inch holes with a hole saw. Before you do that, make sure that where you place those holes underneath is a platform that you can add your bolts to. If you drill a hole and there's nothing underneath there, you're going to have to add a bracket or something. After I cut the holes, I made a mark with a paint pen so I knew where I needed to put my bolts. Then using 1/2-inch all thread, I welded them in the 4 locations, and that was that. So that's it for this episode. Next I'm going to paint the whole car, but it's not going to be part of this series. It will be posted, but just simply titled Derby Car Paint Job or something like that. I'm not sure yet. The next edition of this series will probably be the bumpers, but I have to find them first. I went to the local pick and pull, and you wouldn't believe it, but they crushed every single car. There wasn't anything there. They say they do that once or twice a year, and they expect more stuff in. I'll just keep checking with them and checking on Craigslist, and I got a couple of other prospects I can check out too. I got some good tips from Smash Bob on what bumpers would be best for this car to use, so now I'm on a mission. So I'm going to get started with that. Until next time,